Well, I'm also moved by what Iqbal has told all of us, that human effort has no limits. You know, we have been reading about the stupendous work which was done by BMC in the second wave, and his name used to come up, and very proudly in large crowds I used to say, Sada Munda hai. Okay? So I think that is very important for all of you, that you basically evolve out of this institute, and that Sada Munda, please leave that thought with us. Okay? You know, I'm going to talk to you. I have over 50 years of corporate experience, right? But I have talked to you a little bit of formal part, which I must do, and then we will share some life's experiences, which may leave some remnants in your mind when you leave this room. Okay. Dear Sri Iqbal Singh Chahal, Commissioner of BMC, members of the board and the Senate, degree recipients, distinguished guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great privilege for me to welcome you all to the 35th annual convocation of the Institute and to reflect on our past performances and envision future plans. I think Dr. Gopalan at great length has explained to you how the Institute has evolved over the last 7-8 years, and today it holds a very eminent position in the education segment. And that out of, there are 1,000 universities in the country. There are 1,000 universities in the country, and we are in the top 30 universities in the country. You see, rankings do matter. They basically contribute towards the brand building of the institute. They also contribute towards the checklist which a young student coming out of school looks at as to which institution he wants to go to for his further studies. You see, TIT is committed to provide excellent human resource to meet national needs and global expectations. It is a unique institution and a dream destination for those who wish to be leaders in the technology fields. Let me tell you that in computer science today, our lowest cutoff is 96%. Everyone wants to do computer science at TIT. 96% when I passed out from school was an impossibility actually. 96% was an impossibility. So TIT is internationally recognized. If you see our Times Higher rankings, you can see that we are very close to our chosen metric of being the top 500 universities in the world. We are in the 501 to 600 bracket. And that's all a result of a combined effort of all the stakeholders. Please understand, it's the students, it's the teachers, it's the external stakeholders, and the community has contributed towards these achievements. Let me tell you that over the last 5 years, we drove a very strong contemporization program at the university. And I think we have been successful over the last 5 to 6 years in moving the axis of the university from a rote learning to an outcome-based education. And I think that if today Dr. Batis stands up, he can tell the world what outcome-based education is. And I think Thapar would be one of the few institutes which really delivers outcome-based education, which is experiential, which is self-directed, which is project-led. And there is one more deliverable we have to work on, is that research-inspired education. What you do in your labs, you bring back to the classrooms to teach the students. Okay? So, so last year we drew out our strategic plan for the university. that means from 21 to 25. You know, let me tell you that at this university, over the last 5 years, we have raised the student strength from 5,000 to 10,000 because it was very obvious that you needed resources to put in to the university in form of infrastructure, both academic and external infrastructure, the experiential infrastructure. And 99% plus of our revenues were through student fees. So what we did was the only way the board had to achieve what their objectives were, to increase the student numbers. And please let me tell you that the numbers have increased to 5,000 to 10,000. We have not let the academic quotient go down. We have actually improved our rankings to, as I said, that ranked 23rd in the country. But in the process, about 800 crores over the last 5 years has been generated and plowed back into the university. So you can see that some of this year, the academic or the laboratory of ours, we call that academic block, the learning laboratory, has won the #1 building award of the world. #1 building award of the world. Okay? So I think now we move on. That contemporization program is over, and now we move to another 5 years of a strategic plan or strategic intent, which is called continuous development, right? Where we will raise the student numbers from the current about 11,000 to 15,000 with strong focus. You see, we are watching where the industry is going. India is becoming soon a digital hub, where computer science, that means computer science is the chosen field. Anybody and everybody who stands up or who meets me, they want to do computer science. So obviously we are also veering towards, we are seeing the market, we are seeing the salaries, and we are veering towards that. So today almost we are intaking 2,500. Iqbal, you just compare it to when you joined, we are intaking 2,500 undergraduate students, because that's our core offering to the youngsters. 45% are in computer science. So the heavy laboratory-oriented disciplines like mechanical, electrical, civil, they are kind of falling behind. I'm not saying that they are not necessary, but in terms of student, that means the bright students, they want computer science or anything, electronics and communication, but with computers. So something where they can code, they can write programs, they can develop apps. So that's where the Indian higher, that means that's where the demand is for the Indian graduates, okay? So over the next 5 years, we will focus on some new programs, which is law. Law is I am dealing with the legal fraternity over the last few months now. I think the law has become something which I could not imagine. I used to look down upon law as I grew out of IIT or from England. But today, law is the sought after field, as a matter of fact. So I went to Trinity with a collaboration with the biggest law firm in the country. We could not, because in the template we need a international partner so that we don't make mistakes, but couldn't succeed. But very soon we would be embarking on introducing law into our programs, because we want to be a holistic university, not only a science and technology focused university. We have started liberal arts. It's very important, because let me tell you, there are very bright students who have 96% marks when they pass out from school, but they're not interested in maths and sciences. They're interested in economics, in psychology, in those kind of subjects, right? So we feel that even liberal arts will be a growth engine for the Thapa University's future development. So we moved this whole program to a 15,000 student between Patiala and Derabasi, and then we'll cap the student strength. And then we will cap that student strength. We have just bought another 45 acres of land just outside Gurgaon. It is basically neighboring Gurgaon. From my office in Gurgaon, as the crow flies, it would be 5-6 kilometers. We just bought land, and then TIT would move to an off-campus in Gurgaon, the NCR region, where if you see the distribution of the student intake here, it is restricted to about 6-7 northern states. Still, the pan-India character of the university is not there, because obviously there are good universities spread in the south and in the west. So we feel that NCR, we are missing out on a large chunk of students coming out of New Delhi and the NCR region, where of course the ability to pay fees is much higher than what it is in some of the states where we attract our students. We also will take not very heavily lab-oriented subjects there. The labs would be in Patiala. So we have now, as I said, this continuous development. The major focus also would be, so we will grow from 15 to 20,000 through another 5,000 5-year development program out of the NCR. So that's the 10-year kind of a vision the university has. And by that time, if we have put in 800 crores into the university, we would put in another 1,000 crores over the next 10 years, minimum 1,000 crores into the university. So you can understand that all this will create a huge amount of value in terms of the academic quotient of the university. The whole idea is to charge you guys up. And when I say guys, I mean both the girls and the boys. There are a few, as an engineer, I went to IIT Delhi, I did my master's, and those days, we were directed by our parents. Today, you guys are far more evolved than we guys were. I'm talking of 1965. You have a lot more options, right? I see my grandchildren. I mean, it's a different world for them, the way one from what we grew up. But still, there's something which holds all the time. I saw a very nice, simple movie last week. Where it's a South Indian setup where the girl is meeting the boy and they interview each other. So the girl asks the boy, why did you do engineering as your education? So he made a very simple answer. He said, I chose engineering because an engineer never gives up. I think please remember that. I think this is... So you heard Iqbal just now, very passionately telling, in a completely lost scenario, an engineer never gives up. Okay? So I think that's very beautifully said, and I immediately absorbed it. I said, why? Why didn't I think like that? We don't give up. We hang in there. Okay? We hang in there, irrespective of whatever are the difficulties. We hang in there. And I think that's another mantra of life. You hang in there. Okay? Also, don't make your decisions transactional. I from campus, I joined Larsen & Toubro. Beautiful culture, no pay. I think I joined at about 700 rupees or 750 rupees. But one thing I learned from Larsen & Toubro, that they taught us about ownership. Please take ownership. When I talk ownership, I'm talking metaphorically. Please take ownership of whatever you do. So if in L&T we were asked to dig a hole in the ground, we used to think that we are going to strike gold as we go down further. Take ownership. Don't be worried about कि यार मैंने इतना काम कर लिया, मेरे को इतने पैसे मिलने चाहिए. Don't worry. Next 10-15 years, build, invest in yourself, invest in your content. Okay? And what I'm trying to say is that the common denominator among successful people, all successful people, is hard work. So don't ever think that you can fluke your way in life. Yes, if you are lucky, your karma is helping you hugely from the pre-world, maybe you are lucky. But you will be one out of the millions. The common denominator is put your backside on the chair. And all of us, from 1970 to 72, once you leave home at 9:15, everything is lost to you till you reach home at 7 o'clock in the evening. So you have taken ownership of what you do. Okay? I'm telling you what, I'm talking to you from the heart. Another thing I want to tell you, that life is all about actualizing your potential. There is no limit to potential. So it is up to you how you can motivate yourself. Don't worry about salaries. You see, if somebody says that I have my wife's brother, he just retired as the #1 banker of the country. So obviously he is, वो ESOP मिलते हैं, ये मिलते हैं, तो बहुत पैसे हैं. But it doesn't deter me. I have my own qualities. Money is not the yardstick by which you will be evaluated at the end of your life. Okay? So be focused, take ownership, work hard. Right? I also want to tell you, as a youngster, I learned something which has remained with me. And they say that you don't have to be extraordinarily brilliant to be successful. Everyone has some basic intelligence. It is not that you have to be all those S.P. Singhs and all who were presidents' gold medals with us. We did better with them because we hung in there. Okay? So what I'm saying, sir, is that life's battles don't always go to the fastest or the swiftest man. But sooner or later, the one who wins is the one who thinks he can. Don't always think, यार वो first आया था, तो वो मेरे से अच्छा है. No! That's left behind in the college. That's a very small part of your education. So remember this, and I read this when I was in the 9th class or something. It has stayed with me for the last 60 years, okay? एक और चीज़, I will close because I can go on, because 50 साल में बहुत सीखा, बहुत गलत किया. But what I'm going to tell you now, please remember this, and this is no joke, I'm the chairman of your board, so I'm not bullshitting, okay? So please understand, वो कहते हैं जिंदगी को जीना आसान नहीं होता, जिंदगी को जीना आसान बनाना पड़ता है. कैसे? कुछ सब्र करके, कुछ बर्दाश्त करके और बहुत कुछ नजरअंदाज करके. Understand it. So don't ever think that my way is highway. Don't ever think that. Be humble. In my view, humility is the strongest characteristic in a human being. So, याद रखना इस बात को, कुछ सब्र करके, कुछ बर्दाश्त करके और बहुत कुछ नजरअंदाज करके. Otherwise, you will be locking horns with your wife, with your children at every occasion if you don't take a step back or you don't overlook. Okay? Cheers. Thank you.